All right. Hello, 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 everyone. I am Jennifer Olea. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Southern Arizona. And I am going to be showing you a fun fold card. It's not too intricate. We're starting off fairly easy peasy. And hopefully you guys like this card. Excuse me. Um, whew, let me take a drink of water. So if you stumbled across this video, I do lives on Tuesday, and I'm starting this or Fun Fold Wednesday. So like and subscribe to my channel if you like to have paper crafting fun. So I'm all about paper crafting and I like to have fun. So, okay, let me show you the card that we're going to make, and then we're just going to go kind of dive right into it. This is, let me make the desk bigger. There we go. So here's our card. We're going to be using, let me show you the stamp sets. I kind of pulled just using for my stash. This is a great card that you could use anything you have in your stash, right? But I wanted to use this this like cute mailbox because I hadn't used it yet. So this is stamped with love. I'm also using sharing, loving, crafting. And we're going to be using this circle right here, this stamp. And then I pulled out this little heart right here. So any little heart to go right here on the envelope, because of course you want to have your envelope decorated, right? So those are the stamp sets that I'm going to be using. We're also going to be using the one arch from the Everyday Arches. And we're going to be using some punches too, but I'll tell you what they are when we start punching. Okay. This is our fun fold card, right? So it will fit in a regular envelope. It's just measured a little different. And then you have this little cute arch with a little overhang. Okay. So first, let's cut out the arches first. So I have pieces of, I believe these are 3x4, and we're going to get our machine out and we're going to cut up the arches. So we need 2 of them because we want one on the back side of our arch so that when you color your arch, you don't see all the coloring. Or when you color your mailbox, you don't see all of the coloring. So let's do one of these. And we're going to do another one like so. Now, hopefully, you guys are on my email list. If you're on my email list, right after I finish this video, I'm going to be sending out an email where it's going to have a link to the measurements. So I may talk a little bit about the measurements here, but if you get my email, then all the measurements will be there. Okay. All right. So let's put this to the side. Now, we have a new in color we're going to be playing with here. This is Strawberry Slush. It will be available May 6th with the new Stampin' Up catalog goes live. So this guy is 4 1/4 by 11, and then it's scored at, what is it scored at? It is scored at 3 1/4 and 8 3/4. Okay, so we're going to do that. So let's score it at 3 1/4. Oops. What did I do? 3 1/4. There we go. Let's move that down. Make sure I'm using the score blade, and then it's 8 3/4. Like 8 3/4. There we go. Okay. So we have that. And let's fold it like so. So there's one flap for the front. And then we have the other. So the bigger side is what I'm going to attach the arches to. But we're going to use some designer series paper first. So I have, let me make sure I have the right guys going in the right place. So I have designer series paper and I have a piece of basic black. So the basic black is 2 1/8 by 4 1/8 and then 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. I typically don't use eighths when I do make cards, but I thought that because we're using Strawberry Slush designer series paper, it's like heavy on the straw. It's tone on tone. I wanted something to break it up. So this designer series paper you can find online, and it's called On the Go. It's very travel, vacation, like that's the theme of it. But I'm using just the colored side for the strawberry slush. So let's add this to our basic black, like so. And then this guy right here, it has little hearts and circles, and it reminds me of like when you drop a pin when you're using your phone. I don't really know how to do that. I do it on accident a lot. So, and then I have to figure out how to remove it, but all right, so let's add this to the front, like so. And then we'll get busy with some stamping. We'll push this guy off to the side, like so. Okay, so hopefully I remember at the end of this, I'll show you the card that inspired this card. So let's do the stamping. Okay, so why do I have 2 arches? Because we're going to put one on the back side. You guys see that right there? We're going to put it on the back side. So let's get our stamp. Oops. I've got lots of stamps here already on the blocks, and we're going to only use one ink color, but we're going to pull in some blends. So I'm going to be using Memento Black ink, but I have switched ink pads and I really, really like it. So when you order the classic, it's not classic, maybe it is classic, but when you order the craft white ink from Stampin' Up, you get the craft ink that's white right here. And then you also get an uninked ink pad. And so I've just converted this to black. So I had my refill for my Memento. Whoops, right there, my Memento. Let's see, there we go. And I just added it to this pad. And I am really loving the way that it stamps. So I'm not saying the other one doesn't stamp well, but it's just, it's also a little bigger for the bigger stamps. So, okay. So I didn't put this straight on. I just tilted it a little bit. And we're going to stamp this guy like so. And let's go ahead and I just have a piece of scrap paper here that is Daffodil Delight. And let's go ahead and stamp that since we've got the ink pad open. And we are going to use a circle punch. So I want to give myself enough room to get that punch or that circle, right? So there's that. Now, why don't we go ahead and do the inside of the card also. So the stamp set, the Stamped with Love, has this really cute envelope with a little, a calligraphy pen is what it is, which I think I had a couple of these growing up. And I'm not sure I ever really mastered the art of calligraphy. Okay, so we're gonna do this like so. And then on the envelope, we have a stamp that says, I like you. I thought, how cute is this? Like so. And then, so you get a card. Like that. Oh, yeah. We're flipping this guy over. All right, let's try that again. I was being too delicate with that stamp, I think. I just didn't have a good grip on it. All right. So we're just going to flip our paper over, try it again. And if this doesn't work, get another piece of paper. Easy peasy. So there's that. And I think when I do these videos in the afternoon, it's darker in this corner. It's got to be darker because the sun's not where it is when I do it in the morning. Okay, so I'm gonna stamp this. I'm just gonna test it. I'm still kind of getting not all that D. There you go. Okay. So you get a card. There you go. All right. So I think that's all the stamping we're going to do. But we have to do some coloring because we're going to color this this mailbox, right? And I just pulled out colors that I thought were bright and fun and kind of springy. I didn't want anything too heavy. Oh, I forgot the heart. Let's do that because we're going to color the mailbox. So I take this little heart and we're going to put it right on the back of that envelope flap, like so. All right, and so I took Pretty in Pink, and let's use the brush tip because it's a pretty big area that I'm going to be coloring. I'm coloring where all this work is, but what I do want to do is kind of get the outer edges a little bit more than where this detailed work is, where like the scroll work is, because I think that is where it would wear first, right? Or it might be popped up a little bit, have a little texture to it. So we're going a little darker on the outside edges. Try really hard not to go outside the lines. Of course, I'm going to color the heart with my Pretty in Pink blend. I'm going to do the outline of this detailed work in Pool Party, and I'm definitely going to be using the fine tip. I wouldn't attempt to do this with the brush tip. It's just too narrow of a spot. So here we go. Like so. So if you're watching this video, why don't you, in the comments, let me know who was the last person you sent a card to. I think I am going to be sending this card to, I have a friend that is having surgery this week. So I might send this to her. And just with a quick little note, thinking of you. Right? Okay. So I'm doing this a little bit darker by going over it and over it. a little bit. Let's see. This I was pulling out some of my retired colors. This guy's boho blue. All right. And then I use Bobby Blue for the whole rest of the mailbox. And I think I do want to use the brush tip for this because I'm going in pretty big strokes here. Right? And I think on my sample card, I reversed these colors. Oops. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. You can do it any way you want, right? Okay, you definitely want to have something underneath, like a piece of scratch paper, and because it will bleed through, right? So that's why we made the second arch, so that we're going to cover this guy up. And I think I'm going to go to the other tip. I'm going to try to get around these little lines here. And that's the great thing about these blends, or one of the things that I really, really love, is that it does have the two tips. All right. And I just keep spinning this guy depending on which way is easier. Try to get all the color in there. There we go. And then I think I'm going to do this guy just a smidge darker, right? Like where this black etch work is, I'm going to do that just a little bit darker than all the rest of the areas. Do some shading on the side, right? Okay. You know what else I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy and do a little, how did I do that? I just want to double check. I like how I did it. So, the pen, I'm just going to color in a couple parts like so, nothing too crazy. And then I'm going to do the stamp on this inside here. Like that. All right. So we have, let's go ahead and put the inside in. Like so. And then I've got a couple of pieces because, I want to put some designer series paper on here to kind of, to give it a little bit more detail. So this guy's should be 3x4. Look at how cute this paper would, if you're going on a trip or, you know, some vacation pictures. That would be cute. Or if somebody's taking a, like a trip after graduation or something, that'd be really cute. Okay, so we're going to add this guy onto here. And then we're going to do this first. But you want to make sure that you're only putting adhesive on this half, right? Because then you're not going to be able to open the card. So we're going to go like so. Just double check. That's good. All right. And then we're going to add this guy to the back. Like so. Like that. Now, I said we're going to use some circle punches. So the Daffodil Delight that we stamped already, we're using a 1.5 punch. So in the Stampin' Up world, this guy's actually retired. you can't get it anymore. But we all know we have circle punches in our craft stash, so let's use them, right? Now I have crushed curry, and we're going to use a 1 3/4 circle punch, which you actually can't use, is available for sale right now in April of 2024, 5, not 2024. Crazy me. Okay, we're going to layer these guys on like so. And we're going to pop this guy up with dimensionals because, you know, of course we are, right? I don't know why I'm always looking for dimensionals over there. I have a stack of them right in front of me. So let's add a couple of dimensionals like so. And then, there we go. I feel like my camera's lower or something than normal. I'm not 100% sure what's going on. But hopefully you guys get the idea. Hopefully you guys are subscribed to my email list and you'll get the directions. Okay, so there's your card, like so. Now in the sample card I did, let's go ahead and do that since I already have it cut. I used I did one size smaller of the everyday arches, right? Yeah. And I cut out another arch so that we could put that designer series paper on the arch. So let's do that. And then we will finish this card up. And I'll show you the card that inspired it. So the card that inspired it was done by one of my team members. And every month we do a card swap. We get together and we all make, there's a theme. And so this card came from the Fun Fold theme. So lucky me, I've got a couple of great, not a couple, I have more than a couple, great ideas for some Fun Fold designs. All right, so we're going to add this guy. And that is our Fun Fold card for this Wednesday. Hopefully you like it. Let me show you. I just had it here. Oh, it's underneath all the stuff. So this is the card that my team member, Cindy, made. And this is the idea I got for making sure that you have a backing. So if I would have colored these flowers, I think they're tulips, right? Then you would definitely want something on the back side to cover up the see-through. But so this card inspired all this. So hopefully you guys like it. Let me know. Let me know who was the last person you sent a card to in the comments. And hopefully I see you next Tuesday and maybe next Wednesday. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys all later. Have some paper crafting fun today, guys. Thanks.